We're live. Good evening and welcome, councillors, executive leadership team, community members and council staff to tonight's virtual special council meeting to hear submissions on the Hepburn Shire Council draft budget for 2020 to 2021. My name is Councillor Alicia Kokoczynski and I'm the Mayor of the Hepburn Shire Council. We would like to acknowledge we are meeting on Jara people country, of which members and elders of the Djadja Wurrung community and their forebears have been custodians for many centuries. On this land, the Jara people have performed age-old ceremonies of celebration, initiation and renewal. We acknowledge their living culture and their unique role in the life of the region. Statement of commitment. I also now take the opportunity to read Council's statement of commitment. We, the councillors, and I'll read this on behalf of all the councillors, we, the councillors of Hepburn Shire, declare that we will undertake on every occasion to carry out our duties in the best interests of the community and that our conduct shall maintain the standards of the Code of Good Governance so that we may faithfully represent and uphold the trust placed in this council by the people of Hepburn Shire. And as we go on, I am required to read out a preamble for tonight's virtual council meeting. Council are holding this meeting virtually as council continues to be guided by the government directives and wants to do the right thing for the health of our community during COVID-19 pandemic. This ordinary council, this special council meeting is being live streamed and will be recorded and will be made available on the council website as soon as practicable after the meeting. Pursuant to the ministerial guidelines, should technological problems be encountered by the council where there is an inability to be able to broadcast this meeting to the public, then the meeting must be adjourned until resolution or postponed. The purpose of tonight's special council meeting is to hear verbal submissions to the draft budget 2020 to 2021 pursuant to section 223 of the Local Government Act 1989. Council received a total of 14 submissions. As per page 7 of the public agenda, 5 submitters requested to be heard at tonight's meeting. From the date of publishing this agenda, one submitter has withdrawn their request to address council and therefore we will hear 4 submitters tonight. In accordance with section 13 of our meeting procedure local law, a person, including any representative of the media, must not operate photogenic audio or video recording equipment or any other recording device at any council meeting without first obtaining the consent of the chairperson. At this point, no one requested that they would like to record this meeting. Permission does need to be sought if someone wants to take that footage and use it or broadcast it. I also remind everyone that local government decision-making, unlike state and federal government, does not afford the benefit of parliamentary privilege and hence no protection is afforded to councillors and council officers for comments made during meetings which are subsequently challenged in a court of law and determined to be slanderous. Opening of meeting. As this meeting is being conducted virtually in accordance with the ministerial guidelines, councillors are required to advise individually whether they, 1, they can hear the proceedings and hear their other councillor colleagues, 2, that they can see their councillor colleagues and be seen by others, that they can be heard by their councillor colleagues. We don't usually do a roll call, but what I will do this evening, I will do this evening. So now I will do a virtual whip around the room and ask all councillors to advise that they are present and whether they can hear and that they can see. I will confirm to each councillor whether they can be heard. Then we will know that all councillors who are meeting virtually tonight will be present. Councillor Cottrell, Deputy Mayor, I will start with you. Councillor Cottrell, can you please state that you are present and whether you can hear and that you can see all your colleagues?
Madam Mayor, I am present and I can confirm that I can see all of my colleagues and that I can hear the proceedings.
Thank you, Councillor Cottrell. I can confirm that I can see you and that I can also hear you. Councillor Robson. Councillor Robson is not present. Councillor Robson is an apology. Councillor Redwood, AM.
Madam Mayor, I can see all my council colleagues and I can hear all my councillor colleagues and I am present.
Thank you, Councillor Redwood. I can confirm that I can see you and that I can also hear you. Councillor Newitt, can you please state that you are present and whether you can hear and that you can see all of your colleagues?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I can confirm I'm present and yes, I can see and hear all of my councillor colleagues.
Thank you, Councillor Newitt. I can confirm that I can see you and that I can also hear you. Councillor Henderson, can you please state that you are present and whether you can hear and that you can see all of your colleagues? Councillor Henderson.
Okay.
Councillor Henderson.
I can confirm that I can see and hear all of my colleagues and I am present.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Henderson. I can now confirm that I can see and that I can also hear you. Councillor May, can you please state that you are present and whether you can hear and that you can see all of your colleagues?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I am present and I can both see and hear all my councillor colleagues.
Thank you, Councillor May. I confirm that I can see everyone in attendance, including my councillor colleagues, and hear all of my councillor colleagues. Are there any apologies for this evening's meeting? I understand that we have received an apology from Councillor Robson. Officer attendance. I would now like to introduce council officers who are present in this virtual council meeting. Mr. Evan King, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Bradley Thomas, Director, Corporate and Community Services, Mr. Bruce Lucas, Director, Infrastructure and Development Services, Mr. Chris White, the ICT Manager, and Ms. Kristen Fort, Manager, Governance and Risk. Declaration of conflicts of interest. As required at any other meeting of council, councillors must declare a conflict of interest at the start of the meeting and leave the meeting when the item is presented to council. Councillors will be required to leave the meeting and return when the item has been resolved. At any point throughout the meeting, if any other councillor recognises that they have an indirect or direct interest, they can flag that at that point and follow the same procedure. Councillors, I now ask if any councillor has a conflict of interest to declare. If there are any conflicts of interest to declare, may I ask councillors to please state which provision of the Act their conflict of interest satisfies and the item on the agenda they have a conflict of interest in. Are there any conflicts of interest? No, there does not appear to, no councillor has given a conflict of interest. Officers that are present, I now ask whether you have a conflict of interest in any items presented before council tonight. Mr. Evan King, Chief Executive Officer.
I have no conflicts of interest to declare, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Bruce Lucas, Director, Infrastructure and Development Services.
Through you, Madam Mayor, I do not have any conflicts of interest on any of the items presented in tonight's agenda.
Mr. Bradley Thomas, Director, Corporate and Community Services.
Through you, Madam Mayor, I also do not have any conflicts of interest in tonight's proceedings.
Mr. Chris White, Manager, ICP.
You, Madam Mayor, I do not have any conflict of interest in any items presented to Council tonight.
Ms. Kristen Fort, Manager, Governance and Risk.
Through you, Madam Mayor, I have no conflicts of interest to declare on any items at tonight's meeting.
We have 4 submitters waiting in the virtual waiting room, and I will be admitting each into the meeting as per the schedule of submitters detailed in the agenda. Each submitter is given a total of 3 minutes to address Council. I ask each submitter to state their name, address, and what their submission relates to. So, Officer Reports, item 6.1, Proposed Budget 2020 to 2021, Hearing of Submissions, Director, Community and Corporate Services.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As you have outlined, we've been through the public submission process in relation to the budget. A number of submissions have been received, and we will hear from a number of submitters tonight. Councillors will then consider those submissions, both the written ones and the verbal ones from tonight, at subsequent briefings. And at the Council meeting of July, in 2 weeks' time from tonight, Council will consider those submissions and the budget for adoption for the 2021 year. Madam Mayor, I hand back to you to request the speakers for tonight's proceedings.
Okay, I have an officer's recommendation that Council resolves to allow each of the submitters listed in Table 2 a maximum of 3 minutes to speak to their budget submission, and 2, considers submissions made and consider for adoption the budget 2020 to 2021 at the ordinary Council meeting of 21 July. I am in search of a motion. Do I have a mover and seconder, please? Do I have?
So moved, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Redwood seconded. Councillor Henderson. Now, how do I go through that? Yeah. Councillors, is there any opposition to this motion? There have been no speakers. Councillors, I will put this motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. There being no opposition, all councillors present voted in favour. I declare the motion is carried. I would now like to invite those in the virtual meeting room to address the meeting. So tonight we have the following members of the public requesting to address Council: Ms. Christine Malloy, Ms. Fiona and Ms. Ashley Trounce, Mr. William Elder from the Ballarat Naturalists Club, and Mr. Colin O'Malley. Welcome to the meeting. Please state your name, address and subject title of what you wish to speak to Council. You will be given 3 minutes to address Council. And first of all, Ms. Christine Malloy.
So through you, Madam Mayor, I will now admit Christine Malloy into the meeting to address Council.
Hello, my name is Christine Malloy from 18 Whitehills Road, Creswick. Was that all you wanted? I can't remember.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. I hope you don't mind that I'm going to read this. No,
that's quite all right. Yes, that's quite all right. Proceed.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to the Council. Peter, you need to mute the Facebook. As I said, thank you for the opportunity to speak to the Council. I'd like to speak to the proposal for the sealing of Whitehills Road and Gardner Street in Creswick. More than 1,000 residents of, more than 100 residents of White Hills Road and Gardner Street submitted a petition in early 2019, as I'm sure you're aware, to have the road sealed for safety reasons. The council considered it in May 2019 and completed road safety audit in June 2019. And according to the Mayor's response to my question at the June ordinary meeting, there were no high risks identified. The road safety audit indicated that the risk level of serious outcomes, such as death or injury, was actually high for an occasional occurrence. That occasional occurrence in their terms means that is every 5 to 10 years. Since then, and this is extremely important, there have been at least 6 new subdivisions in Gardner Street and more are expected to follow. Very recently, just a week or two ago, a neighbour of ours on Gardner Street witnessed a near miss between a tradie leaving one of the building sites and one of the walkers on White Hills Road, on Gardner Street. I was advised that the neighbour reported the incident to council, like so many in the neighbourhood, concerned about the risk to his young children. In other words, the risk is now increasing as more and more houses are being built and the road use has increased significantly, while the number of walkers and bike riders and mums with prams and things like that are also increasing. I suggest that the risk level is no longer occasional, but probable, with the likelihood that there will be a death or serious injury in the next year. On behalf of all the residents of White Hills Road and Gardner Street, my question to council tonight is, what can we do to get the sealing of these roads into the 2021 budget before there is a death or serious injury? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Malloy. Now, could I, you will be moved back into the waiting room, and we would now ask for Ms. Fiona and Ashley Trounce to be admitted into the room.
Madam Mayor, I've now invited Fiona and Ashley Trounce into the meeting. Hello, Fiona, are you there?
I am here, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're now live in our special council meeting.
Allow. I think you need my video, don't you? Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there I am.
Yes, we can see you, Fiona, yes.
My name is Fiona Trounce, and I live at 19 White Hills Road, Creswick. I also am going to read off.
Fiona, are you there?
Oh, yes, I am.
I am
here, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're live in our special council meeting.
Allow. I think you need my video, don't you? Oh, there you go. There I am. Oh, do you know what's happening? I'm watching it live, and I think it's lagging.
No, yeah, don't. Just watch your computer.
Yes. Can you take that away? Right. I'm also going to read something, so sorry about that. Thank you to the CEO, the Mayor and the councillors for allowing me to speak on behalf of the submission we have made to the 2020-2021 budget for the sealing of White Hills Road and Gardner Street. My name is Fiona Trounce, and my husband and I and our 2 small children, aged 5 and 7, have lived on the corner of White Hills Road and Gardner Street for almost 4 years now. The safety of both of these roads has been an ongoing concern to us, and going forward with the amount of traffic that is steadily increasing with the south end of Gardner Street that has 3 houses currently under construction, as well as another 2 that will commence in the very near future. In particular, from the increased amount of traffic in the last couple of weeks, the road has been at its absolute worst. About 5 weeks ago, the road was graded, but the grading was poorly undertaken. It left the road incredibly slippery to drive on. Potholes are a continual issue all the time, and in fact, there are now 2 signs erected to alert drivers at both entries to Gardner Street and White Hills Road that the road is slippery and to reduce speed. With 2 young children, we are always out riding our bikes or walking around the block, but of late, with the increased amount of traffic, it's become unsafe. The roads a couple of weeks ago were so bad that the girls were unable to ride their bikes as they couldn't gain traction on the road being so slippery and unstable. We have many cars that turn the corner at a ridiculous speed and then proceed to fishtail all the way up Gardner Street. Even a driver smashing into a tree on our driveway. Heaven forbid if there were walkers or our young children playing outside at the time. It's so lovely to see the same people out walking in the area, and speaking to some of these, they are also concerned about the state of the road. Our neighbour Christine has done a fantastic job in obtaining over 100 signatures in support of the sealing of both roads, as well as attending many council meetings to advocate for the roads to be fixed. And we have been led to believe that our road has been given a higher priority. Our real concern is that we are now just coming into winter, and with more rain ahead and the state of the road, it is a real safety concern. Thank you, and we look forward to a positive outcome for our submission in the 2021 budget.
Oh, thank you very much, Ms. Trounce, and thank you to your daughter as well for supporting you. That's terrific to see. So thank you very much for your presentation tonight.
Thank you very much.
We'll just be escorted out of into the waiting room again. And now ask for Mr. William Elder. Good evening. Welcome to the meeting, Mr. Elder. Would you please state your name, address and subject title of speaking to the council? You will be given 3 minutes to address council. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My name's William Elder. I live at 61 Skippers Road, Scarsdale, and my subject tonight is the Creswick Trails Project, income and expenditure. Regarding the draft budget for 2020-21, our main concern is the lack of transparency and accountability in relation to the Creswick Trails project. There is no mention in this budget of any funds or expenses carried over from previous years related to the project. We feel the public deserves much greater accountability for this potentially destructive project planned on public land. Keep in mind that Creswick Regional Park is the only such high status park in the region. The Shire received grants of $2.1 million towards the Creswick Trails project from Regional Development Victoria, and a further $1.5 million of ratepayers' money was also allocated to it. Given that total construction costs are currently estimated by project staff at between $5 and $8 million, we question the viability of the entire project. Where will this money come from? And why is it not accounted for in the council's draft budget? The Creswick Trails project is a development of public land ostensibly for the benefit of a single user group, to the detriment of other park users and the park itself. Our interest is primarily protection of the environment, and this 100-kilometre trail network will be quite destructive to the native flora, fauna, habitat and heritage. It will also impinge on the rights of many legitimate users. A further $200,000 will be needed annually for trail maintenance, which leads us to the conclusion that the project is probably not even feasible. The draft budget has not accounted for any expenditure for this massive infrastructure project. We'd like to ask why not. We ask if councillors are ready to be accountable to the public for this huge hidden expenditure, as well as the loss of precious environmental values. We urge council to redraft this budget and disclose all expenditure for the proposed Creswick Trails project and that this information be freely available to ratepayers and the general public, particularly locals, who are long-term users of the Creswick forests. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elder, and you will be escorted out of the meeting and back into the waiting room. Thank you. I now call on Mr. Colin O'Malley. Good evening, Mr. O'Malley.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, Mr. O'Malley. Can you hear and see me okay?
I can see you well, thank you.
Good, that's good. Now, would you like to welcome to the meeting, and would you please state your name, address and subject title, which you're speaking to the council about, and again, welcome.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So, my name's Colin O'Malley and my address is 199 Smoky Town Road in Smoky Town in Victoria. And the what we're seeking is some funding to do a bit of bitumen work on the road. Can I run into it now? Is that your...
Yes, you have 3 minutes to make your presentation. And
okay.
It's all yours.
Okay,
all yours.
Thank you. I'd just like to let thanks for the Chamber to let me address you, and I would just like to put on the record that what I'm asking for or requesting is has no advantage at all to me, in the sense that I live another 400 metres up the road past this. What we're looking for is there is a small stretch of unmade road, and it's under constant stress because it takes in two intersections, both unmade, with two different road cambers on either end of the road. And thanks to the good work of the council, the groundwork is well and truly on the way, and we're only seeking that it has some bitumen sprayed on it to seal it, which would help save council on the maintenance. What we're not seeking is any funding for curb and channeling or drainage, just for some bitumen. Frenchman's Road, which was bitumised over 35 years ago, which stops at the start of Smoky Town. And the piece of road in question, and we have no bitumen work in and around our area since. But don't get me wrong, I believe that the council is doing good work in most of the areas, and we see money being spent in the town on water parks, bike parks and recycling. However, we just need to bring some focus back on the unmade roads around Creswick and the surrounding areas. And I'm also seeking that, can I request a list of from council of all the unmade roads in and around Creswick that have been bitumised in the last financial year, because I can't sort of see any. And that's the limit of my submission. And thanks to the council for allowing me to address you.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Malley, for your presentation. And now you'll be exited out of the meeting into a waiting room, or whatever the IT version is. So now, to all those who requested to address council, that you have all been heard, and so therefore the purpose of tonight's special meeting has been carried out, and therefore I close the meeting at 6:31 p.m. Thank you for all those who attended, councillors and staff and submitters. Good evening.